Greetings and salutations, fellow humans. Today we're going to talk about the dome. We're going to give you a run through of everything to do with the dome, and then we're actually going to run through it, and we're going to show you the most efficient way, in this solo's opinion, to run the dome and recover your loot home safely. If you want to skip straight to that part, look in the description, and there'll be a link there that will take you straight to the run through. Otherwise, let's get going and let's talk about Dome. Dome is one of the original, if not the original, monuments that were introduced into Rust as part of the experimental branch. Experimental being the branch that we all know now as the production branch. It was envisaged as some kind of storage tank, and judging by the various refineries, the various low-grade fuel, we can envisage that that probably was intended to be some kind of fuel depot. It's got a number of buildings that you cannot access and a number that you can. There's various barrels lying around. By the jump up point, the main puzzle, there is a oil refinery which can go ahead and be used. One in, one out. If you're feeling secure and you have cover, might be worth it. Probably not though. For early game start, there are plenty of low-grade barrels that can go ahead and be picked up, both on the floor and on top of the 3 oil tanks that are situated nearby. The 3 oil tanks have numerous barrels. They also go ahead and have those low-grade fuel barrels. If you go ahead and decide to loot this, just bear in mind that you're leaving yourself pretty open to being sniped at both from above and from below. So it may be worth it if you get here fast and there's no other sources of low grade, but probably better areas to go ahead and gather it. This monument is based around puzzles like many early monuments in Rust and does not involve any scientists. There is no green card puzzle, there is no recycler. It is purely here for loot and loot only. So you're ready to run Dome. Let's go ahead and talk about how you can do so as a solo a little more efficiently and a little more safely. First thing I recommend you do, assuming you have the resources, is go ahead, grab a computer station. Dome actually has 2 cameras that you can go ahead and use to monitor for safety and for loot. You've got Dome 1, which covers the jump up. You can also go ahead and listen at Dome 1 and see if you can hear anybody moving around, jumping around and so on. We listen, we can hear an animal. The sounds of Dome. No sign of movement. The other camera is Dome Top, and Dome Top allows you to go ahead and see when the military crates have gone ahead and respawned. And again, if you listen, you can listen for potential movement, jumping around that might indicate that a player is there, either to collect the loot or to go ahead and perform an ambush. So once you establish that the items are there that you want to go ahead and collect, you've listened, you can't hear any human sounds, but you can obviously hear animals, you can then make the decision on whether you're ready to go ahead and run Dome. Now what I always recommend when you go ahead and are running Dome, regardless of the method you use, go ahead and place some sleeping bags. Place them fairly close to Dome so that if the unexpected happens, you have the ability to be able to run back quickly to recover your body. And I say this because usually the method of dying on Dome is to go ahead and fall off Dome, mistiming a jump or whatever. So having some bags there ready will go ahead and give you quick spawn points to be able to go ahead and return to collect your loot in the event of a mishap. It's not unusual, even if you get ambushed on Dome, for the person to ambush you to also fall off in their haste to go ahead and grab your body. Alright, we're ready. We've gone ahead, we've placed our bags, we've confirmed confirmed that we don't think there's anybody there. We know the loot is there. Let's go ahead and let's collect it. So to go ahead and do this the way that I'm going to suggest, go ahead and make sure you've got a parachute on. You're going to need it. You don't need to use a parachute if you don't have the ability to craft one or don't have one. You can go ahead and manually drop back down, but the parachute is the most efficient way to do this, assuming that Dome is not covered by snipers. So to run Dome, you want to go ahead, find this pipe on an angle, run on up. That's usually a good indicator if that crate is there that no one's been here. Jump across to the jump up point, up the stairs, and up the metal 4x4 to enter the second level of Dome. First level is further down, where occasionally you might find a body of someone who's jumped accidentally, and you'll see some minor crates and barrels around. You've also got more barrels and crates that may go ahead and spawn on this level. Unless you're really desperate for resources, I don't recommend collecting them. So run straight across and out onto the platform, jump up the water barrels, up the ladder. It's a good ambush point, so just be careful. And then up and down the planks as you steadily climb higher. This is one of the first jump points. Usually all you do, run to the edge, jump, go along the pipe, and jump again. If your FPS is a little low, you may want to be a little more cautious with that, but usually just a straight run and jump. Continue higher and come along the balance beam. Again, run at full speed. And then into the next entrance on the third level. Good little ambush points here. So if you think someone might be there, just consider that they might be standing on either side of that ready to shoot you. Simply run across, and this is where the first of the military crates is. Straight across, right by the walkway, easy to go ahead and see. Jump up on the railing, drop down, fast run, down the concrete, pick it up, exactly the same way back. If that is missing, but you have seen the crates or the military crates up above, it's generally an indication that someone is camping up top. Continue along, follow the wooden ramps and then the metal ramps to get up top. Up the ramps until you reach the top floor. If you're feeling really brave and you have lots of resources, you can do this also by taking some kind of aircraft, minicopter, whatever, flying across. There's a good chance you might get shot down, so just bear that in mind. Once you're up top, go ahead in a clockwise or anti-clockwise circle, pick up the 3 military crates, then head on down, and there's also up to 2 diesel barrels that you can pick up as well. So once you have collected the diesel, it's then time to make your way back down. You can go ahead and follow the various paths down and work your way in through the internal pieces of Dome to get back to the entrance. Or you can do my preferred method, which is using the parachute and jump into your location. So in this case, we can go ahead and we can jump to one of the sleeping bags I put down. If we have a vehicle part nearby, we can aim for that. Or in this case, I have a base setup just over there with the 2 doors. We're going to go ahead and we're going to jump to that and parachute to that. There's not been any gunfire, so I'm fairly certain we're not going to get sniped at, but if we are, we will go ahead and we'll aim for those sleeping bags that I went ahead and put down earlier. So when you're ready, find your piece that you're going to jump off. Make sure there's nothing directly below you that might snag the parachute. Run, jump, and then press space to activate your parachute. And then depending on your level of comfort, either do a fast descent to your location, or you can go ahead, slow up, and just enjoy the view as you descend down. A little faster. If you are aiming for a bag, go ahead and do so here. Try not to snag your parachute. Sometimes you can snag it in the most inopportune ways. And then you go ahead and land, and if you feel comfortable picking it up, you can go ahead and pick the parachute up, preferably in the lee of the building. You've now got all your loot, you've jumped off, dome, you haven't been shot, success. And that, my friends, is how I as a solo efficiently go ahead and run dome.